Hi there. I'm here with Danielle Matthews, and I'm just so excited because we're talking about a really big topic here today, the nervous system. So, how to regulate the nervous system and just feel more calm and clear and in control of your health. And we're going to give you some really great lifestyle tweaks that I know you can implement into your life. So, Danielle, I met you at a show that we did together. It was an event where we were both speakers, and I loved hearing you talk. And it was about the nervous system. And so that's why I reached out to you to be like, let's educate our clientele about this and just let them know how it truly relates to our life. So let's just start out with just tell everybody kind of what you do and a little bit about you.
Sure. I know. It was so great hearing you talk as well. I love what you do, and it's so simple. And I'll tell you what, the bar you recommended when you said that you tested like 40 different ones and this was the top one, I literally gave it to everybody for Christmas. Like I'm eating that all the
Oh,
time. The
I guess he's
Aloha
so
bar.
excited.
Yeah, so I'm glad we could learn from one another. But yeah, so a little background on me. I got a degree in biology. I've always been fascinated by how the body works. And a couple of years after school, I lost my health, and I actually sustained a traumatic brain injury. I was hit by a drunk driver, and my world kind of went upside down. I couldn't work for several years, and I was really on the path of trying to get myself healthy. And through that, I learned a ton. I learned a ton about the physical body. I learned a ton about meditation, about how to reset your nervous system, something that I really didn't have a grasp on or understand the power of until, my nervous system was so shot and so out of balance. And I felt the impact immediately as I would reset it. And so I became really intrigued. I have a very curious mind. And so once I started to heal and get my life back, I actually got certified in the practice that had changed everything for me, which was Yoga Nidra. And I study very deeply for the last almost 9 years now with the Amrit Yoga Institute. That lineage, I live right next to my teacher. He's 93. He brought these teachings over from India, and
Love
his
that.
daughter is who I really resonate with and have gotten certified with. So I'm an advanced facilitator with Yoga Nidra and with yoga therapy, and I have worked with dozens and dozens and dozens of clients, helping them to just find their inner calm, to be able to release their past, to be able to be fully in the present moment and get their nervous system regulated, which is everything.
Amen. Oh my gosh, because I work with so many clients as a nutritionist and kind of like a health coach, and it's we don't everyone just wants to hear what to eat, what not to eat, but when it comes down to it, their bodies are on so overload and their minds are going constantly and they're always trying to find a solution, always researching that they can't really be in the moment and to really take in all this health. So we have to do a multi-level approach, which always includes this kind of reset to the metabolism or to the nervous system and metabolism. So very,
Yeah.
very cool. Um, okay, so maybe just because when I heard you talk about it, it just really resonated of how you explain the nervous system. And I
Yeah.
just feel like not many people think about our central nervous system and how it affects us and how
Yeah.
important it is. So please share a little bit.
So
You did.
yeah, if we kind of go back to the basics, if you go back to like, I don't know, biology class, you probably somewhere in your recollection have the words sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. And so just to kind of give us the brief on this, your sympathetic nervous system is your fight and flight response. So this is where you get super engaged, your body is in an alert, aroused state. Cortisol is coursing through your veins because you need to deal with a threat, right? And I think the proverbial example that is always used is like you see a tiger, right? And now this tiger is always either going to eat you or you're going to get away. And so your system goes into fight or flight mode. It's going to fight off that tiger or it's going to flee. And either way, this is done in like 60 to 90 seconds, right? It's usually pretty fast that we need to address a threat and deal with it and move on. And then the system goes back into the parasympathetic, which is the rest, digest, restore. But what has happened in like our modern times, it's not that we have a tiger that's going to be walking through our backyard at any given day and threaten us. Like we don't really have that many threats to us, but we have what I call mental tigers. It's the phone that's constantly pinging. It's the 24-hour news cycle. It's the social media. It's the inundation of advertisements, music, noise, our body is having to take that in. And so our nervous system is constantly aroused. And, I did this at the event. I'll kind of put this out there for those listening. If we just audited you right now to see, well, is my nervous system out of balance? If I just ran through a couple of things, do you have tense shoulders? If you check in, just whoop, wherever you are your shoulders tense right now? Do you shake
Mhm.
your leg when you're sitting? Do you bite your lip ever? Do you feel like you get easily overwhelmed or you just like dump your emotions out at the end of the day on somebody else or in the car when you're driving, right? You have road rage. Do you find that you like furrow your brow? Are you someone that moves to different projects a ton or always has to have a vacation planned or moves jobs a lot? Do you feel restless if you're not busy? I know a lot of people that go on vacation,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be chilled out and they can't relax. Um,
And
do you have
then they
trouble
need a
sleeping at
vacation
night?
after the vacation, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's because of the nervous system. It's because their fight and flight response is so engaged and everything is so aroused internally that the body is like, no, I can't relax because I need to keep you alive. And so it doesn't know how to relax. And what I think is probably the best visual that was ever shared with me to really understand is to think that, we have this life force that keeps us going. And I think of it like a jar of money. Okay. And that life force gets spent on things. So if we are needing to, say, defend ourselves from the tiger, right? We're going to spend a lot of money in order to get out of that situation. The life force is going to be expelled there. But in our modern times, where is this life force going? It's going into our worries, our thoughts, our doubts. Oh, why hasn't this person called me? Do I look okay? Should I wear this? I wonder what's going to happen here. Why did my husband not arrive yet? Where are the kids? Are they going to be late for this? Like we have 1,000 things going on
Yes.
in our mind, and it's causing this life force to be spent there in this aroused state. Our nervous system is getting more and more active. It's using our life force. And so what that means is that now there's no money left, right, to spend on restoring the body, on digesting our food, on
Mm.
repairing things at the end of the day because we're doing all of the time and we're not being. And so all of a sudden when our body does have the space and time to relax, usually it's like when we're sleeping, there's not so much life force. There's no money left to spend to repair your gut or to help you, address the issues that have gone awry. And I think that sort of sets the stage for all of the dis-ease that we see. And the yogic philosophy looks at and they say, look, if you can just balance out the doing and the being in your life, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, that life force will be freed up to be able to carry out all of the healing from within. But we're so out of balance these days. I don't know if you see it. I see it in most people that I work with. It's like we don't know how to just be. We think something's wrong if we're just
No.
being.
No. And I mean, I'm a yogi like you, and I love meditation. And it always cracks me up when I work with someone and I'm like, you would really benefit from some meditation, even if it's just 5 minutes. And they'd say, I can't, Betsy. I physically can't do that. My brain hates it. And I'm always like, you're the person that needs it the
The exact
most.
one that needs it. Yeah,
Yes.
I know. What
Like that
I've
people
loved
can't be
about,
still for even just
yeah,
still in their brain, in their bodies for just a minute. So it's
yeah.
so very
What
important.
I've loved about the tradition that I study, Yoga Nidra, it means yogic sleep. And it's interesting. I think of it like meditation made easy. There is not a person I've met yet that can't do it and doesn't have benefit. In fact, so many people say to me, Danielle, that's the first time I've ever experienced my mind being quiet. Like I didn't even know
Mm,
that was possible. And
mm,
because you do it laying down. So the yogis basically created this technique to model the same thing that your body does every night before you go to sleep, to walk you down from this waking state into the delta wave. So you can actually, your body can get into that rest, digest, restore. And you lay down, you just listen to guidance, and it's so strategic how it walks you through to get tension out of the physical body, then out of the breath, then out of the energy body. And it literally just starts to reset the nervous system and it works
mm.
for everybody. And it takes about
Mm,
20 minutes. It has to be at least 20 minutes, maximum 45 minutes. But you can do it. I work and I tailor it to the person. Like if I can see, okay, are you dealing with grief or are you dealing with an illness? Like what is this big thing that's really pulling you out and keep getting you out of balance? You can
yeah.
create a practice around that and it helps reset the nervous system instantly. They say it's like the equivalent of getting 3 hours of sleep. It's like that much restoration happens in the
Mm,
body. And I promise those people that say they can't do it, I've worked with a lot of them. They can do this one. And you have to be supremely comfortable. Like a lot of people hate meditation because you got to sit and you're cross-legged. And I don't
I
know about you,
know.
like my legs start to go numb, and I'm like, I can't do this. So
I meditate in
laying
bed.
down,
Because
yeah,
I do love
yeah,
that and I
way to do it.
breathe better when I am in that position. That's just my vibe. So I
Yeah,
do
same.
love yoga nidra. I've tried it a bunch and I think it's cool. And I want to do it with you too. Because I'm right by saying that you do it in person, but you also can do it virtually as
You
well.
do virtual. Yeah, absolutely. I work with people all over the world, and we just, we can get on Zoom, and I love to connect with someone because the other special thing about yoga nidra that's different than other meditations is you add an intention. And so if you think about this, there are, how to put it, there's programming that gets into us from when we're young that causes us to interact and react to the world in certain ways that are not the best, right? With thoughts like I'm not good enough or I'm not loved or these things that are themes in us.
Yes.
What Yoga Nidra does is it takes you to this state where you can access, we go beyond the conscious mind, right? It's really hard to change the conscious mind and to change patterns or habits. It's kind of like ice, like you can change it, but it takes a lot of chipping away and you have to be
Yeah.
really diligent. When you go into the meditative state in Yoga Nidra, it's like the ice melts. And so now you're dealing with water, right? Which water will take the form of whatever you put it in. And so we insert an intention. I think of it like Inception, like we go in and we insert
Uh-huh.
something way deep down there so that when you come out of it, now it just automatically solidified into that conscious mind, into the ice. And so
Ooh.
I work to create an intention. So what is the thing that's not working in your life right now? And then we kind of backwards through that, go through a process to figure out the intention, which might be as simple as I am open and patient, or I am at peace amidst the chaos, or something that in the moment when you're triggered, when life tries to pull you back out, it comes into your mind because it's been planted in there. And it's like we're resetting the programming that is going to be allow for a much more peaceful life and for you to have inner calm, which when you have inner calm, you can handle anything that life throws at you. But if
Yeah.
your inner world is already overflowing and then one more thing comes, it's like everything spills over. But if we
My
can get
my
your
favorite thing, sorry to interrupt. My favorite thing is
yeah,
when a client tells me that they're more calm. They like I don't care what really happens on the scale because honestly, it's how they handle all the life's pressures. But when they tell me, gosh, my husband tells me I'm so much more calm and I'm relaxed and nothing's bothering me. I'm like, oh, like that is so much more
yes,
impressive than like,
yeah.
some little like win that's more of a number, So
Yeah,
it's cool.
exactly. It's like, because we came here to enjoy life. And I find so many people, it's interesting when I had my accident, Betsy, like I was on the sidelines of life. It was kind of like watching the world go by. And I mean,
Mm,
it caused a lot of anxiety and panic attacks for me at the beginning because I was like, whoa, I should be in this. But after a
yeah.
while, when I just accepted this is my reality for right now, it gave me a really interesting lens to look at everyone. And it was like, man, people are moving so fast through life. They're not appreciating each
Mm,
moment for what it is, and they're blowing up at one another because they haven't been able to process the things that have happened. And it's like if you
yeah.
just take a moment to slow down, and the amazing thing is like you don't need that much time. Like if you added a yoga nidra, a 20-minute session or a 30-minute session into your day, whether you did it in the morning when you woke up or at night before you go to bed or middle of the day, whatever, like the research actually shows that within a few weeks, you have new neural connections that literally help with your prefrontal cortex to help you with decision making, to help you be more calm. Like there's
Yeah.
physiological benefits that have been researched to be seen. It's like the yogis have been saying it for thousands of years, but now we can measure it with instruments. We can see cortisol levels going down, which is the stress hormone, which is why a lot of people have like they store extra fat in their belly. Like it's a protection that's
Yeah.
happening because the body is in this aroused state. And it's like, it's such a simple thing to add that allows for you to like if you start your day with that, your capacity to just handle life that day is much higher. Or if you end your day with it, it's almost like a mental shower. You know what I mean? Like a psychic cleanse. We
I
wash
love it.
ourselves through the day externally, and this is like the internal sort of reset button.
Yeah. And so many people say they just, well, I don't have time for something else. But when it comes down to it, it's we all can make the time. We make it a priority. And if we can
Yeah,
find those 20 minutes, it can change your life forever if you make it a practice in your
yeah,
routines. So
for
I'd
sure.
like to wrap up with from both of us just very practicable like tip or kind of tweak they can do for their life so that
Yeah,
they can start to feel the benefits pronto on their nervous system.
absolutely. So one of the things that I like to teach is your breath. So your breath is actually one of the most direct ways to reset your nervous system. And it's a gift that we all have and we're not really consciously thinking about. We're breathing all the time. Like if you check your breath right now, you might find that it's kind of rapid and shallow because when we're in our sympathetic nervous system, it typically is. So a good reset is simply inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Think about if you were like blowing through a straw. So like a little bit of pursed lips, like, and just don't complicate it. Just make the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. So maybe breathe in for 3, breathe out for 5. And if you do that, so in through the nose for 3, out for 5, you will feel the cooling and calming effect. I mean, honestly, if you just did that 3 times, like before
I feel
you
it.
respond to kids or react when you're driving or in a business meeting, like no one can tell you're doing it. If you do that, it's going to allow your system to be balanced. And when you're balanced, you can, right action and right words will move through you, right? You won't be so reactive to life. You'll be much calmer and your inner world will be much happier for sure.
Yes. I love it. I'm on a dragon boat team, and a lot of times we will do sprints, and I can hear everyone breathing so hard. And after the sprint, I do those kinds of breaths where I just have a
Mhm.
big releasing exhale, and I'm so used to doing it that I can get good lung capacity. I'm able to get my heart rate down, bam, like within like 10 seconds. I'm able to get my heart rate down while everyone's still like, and I'm like, and they're like, what's wrong? You didn't try hard enough, Betsy. I'm like, oh no, that's not it. It's their breathing.
I
You
got the
really
hack. Yeah.
can not always be in this heightened state of stress where your breath is shallow. And then I'm like listening to my dog over here who is, dog doesn't have many thoughts. They're just so chill. And he's like literally over here like, like
Yeah, they
he's
have the longest breath.
I
Yeah.
mean, it just goes like exactly what you said. Our minds are just are just putting our nervous system, our sympathetic nervous system more on overdrive where we are unable to take these bigger breaths. So we have to consciously do that and have a practice in our life, like yoga. Um,
Yeah.
so I want to also incorporate a tip. So as a registered dietitian, like I learned about biology and the nervous system, but I did not really understand how it relates to nutrition and our lifestyle habits. So I got to work with a world-renowned endocrinologist for a while. So then when really understanding what cortisol is, and you mentioned cortisol already, where it's the main stress hormone in the body, and when it is amplified because that sympathetic nervous system is working too hard and the cortisol is stressed, it basically just means that no, you can't lose weight. And for some people, it might not be weight. It might just be they have a lot of inflammation in their body and their joints are killing them, or they just have sugar cravings galore, or they have GI issues. GI is always related to this. So there's just so many facets of the body that can go awry when this nervous system is in an uproar. So daily habits, it's really anything that brings stress to the body. And I could name like 20 different things off the top of my head, nutrition, exercise, and lifestyle habits. But if I would really just put it cleanly, you need to have a beautiful flow of your day. So if you can have daily routines that really put your body at ease to say, oh, Danielle, your body, thank you for taking care of me. It's very predictable. I know that I'm going to eat breakfast and not skip like 6 hours and have 3 cups of coffee before eating and feel like like, oh, you're actually giving me fuel to work, to have my brain work and my body work. And when I exercise, you actually like had fuel in the engine and then you refueled me afterwards. And at the end of the day, it's not like I was skipping carbs all day long. And now I'm like ravenously eating like while I'm making dinner and then going for snacks afterwards when I know I'm not even hungry. So if your flow of your day and your meal schedule and the balance of your meals can be just more nurturing for you and less diet-like and tough on the body, I would say that is my number one tip. And that's really what we do as our metabolism roadmap is our kind of the first step when anyone is thinking about working with us is we develop a roadmap for them of what that daily routine would look like. And does it include meditation and maybe the yoga practice with it? When does it include that? Where is your workout? It's like we really map out this flow of the day so that there's like no questions and it's not like cutting calories, cutting carbs, doing all these things for weight loss, but people tend to just lose weight, sleep better, and really enjoy the journey so much more when it's like this. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
um, so yes, let's blend those beautiful things together with the deep breaths, the yoga, and just the beautiful lifestyle. And
Mhm.
Danielle, what you offer is it a nervous system reset? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Nervous system reset session. I'd be happy to work with anybody. We can do it anywhere, anytime. And easiest thing, if you're interested and want to kind of get more details, just email me. My email is just discoverintention@gmail.com because that intention is everything. When we go into the yoga nidra and you can reset your world into whatever you like. So email me. I'm happy to share more with you and discuss if this would be a good thing for you.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. Thank you, everybody. And thank you,
Yeah.
Danielle.
Bye, everyone.
You're awesome.